Hello, welcome back to another video on veiling. Today I'm going to just answer some of my more frequently asked questions about veiling. Hi, my name is Max. I'm a druid who occasionally wears a veil. I have made other videos on pagan veiling and I will put a link to what is pagan veiling up here, because there's a good chance you don't know what it is, and that's a better starting point than this one. So pause, watch that, come back to this one. Since I've been making videos about veiling, I have been collecting questions. These are from... there's a storm outside and there's things blowing past my window. I've been collecting questions. They're from my YouTube comments. Most of the time I have answered them inside of the comments, but some of them they need a bigger video, and this is kind of it. And some of them have just been through just general existing as a veiled druid sometimes, or just conversations about things. So I'm going to start with question number 1. What's your favourite veil? I am assuming that you mean the scarf, and it is, you can probably tell, this one, because I've worn it in all of my veiling videos. And then I have this one, which is for like warmth and if I want to go outside, and I have another one which is like it's over there, you can't really see it, but it's like a minty net with like embroidered flowers on it. That's the one that I put on mostly for rituals. And then this one I like the look of, and it's got yellow on it, which I enjoy, and it's double-sided, which means I can, like, sometimes colour has a purpose, so this has two purposes. Will you veil if you get married? Okay, first of all, that is a big if. Second of all, possibly. I have not thought about it, I have not planned it, I don't like live my life in hopes of one day getting married and then I have like a dream wedding. I have ideas, so I would like to do a pagan wedding or a druid wedding and have a hand fasting, and in that sort of a space it might be more appropriate to veil. I might feel the need to, I might just want to, but then I also might not want to. So it really depends on, I guess, the day. Possibly, possibly not. Some people do, especially people that veil all the time. But if you don't veil very often, you might not veil at a wedding, especially your own. I don't know, it depends how magical and spiritual your wedding is. Next question for the deafies. Do your hearing aids ever get in the way of veiling? And yes. Most of the time I wear a really tight veil, so this is a lazy veil because I wanted to show off my new hair, which if you haven't seen, you have now, but I dyed it and I'll put a link up there because it's really fun. But usually I wear a bit of a tighter veil, which means I have usually got it tied around my head, and that does interfere with hearing aids because I usually tie my ears into my veil, because if I tie them outside it feels uncomfortable, they get a bit squished, and they get like more friction and they get like pushed forward a bit, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I don't wear my hearing aids usually when I veil. It just makes noises, it's a bit more uncomfortable, and it's not the vibe, because I don't usually wear my hearing aids for magic, and I don't usually wear my hearing aids for any sort of druid practice or druid study. If I've been wearing them in the day, I take them out, even if it's just to read my druid studies. I just don't... Hearing aids and magic they don't go really together for me. So yes, they get in the way and I always take them out anyway. Next question, do you ever veil in public? Yes I do. When I started veiling, when I first got into veiling, I did it pretty much 24/7. Well, I didn't always sleep in it, sometimes I did because it was comfy and warm. Sometimes I took it off because it was uncomfy and too warm. But I would veil every day, and therefore I was going outside and doing things, and I was veiling in public. I don't do it so often anymore, because that's just how I have evolved in my practice and as a person. I do still sometimes veil in public, so I did a Vlogtide video where I went out and foraged for a Yule log, and you can see me veiling in that, so I'll put a link up there as well. It's not a problem for me to veil in public, I just don't really, because I kind of associate it more with active practice of craft, which I don't often do in front of other people. But I'm open to it, and if it's just like going on a druid walk, then yeah, why not? How did people react when you started to veil? Mixed. Most people were like, oh, cool, and asked some questions. Other people were not as supportive. My ex at the time got really grumpy with me because she said, and I quote, "It makes you look like a cancer patient and I don't want to be seen with that." So yeah, that was the beginning of the end for that. Yeah, some people really didn't like it because they don't like anything that challenges their perception of religion, of faith, of what is normal. As we've seen with me and my face mask, people just don't like difference. And I personally, I can't speak for anyone else, I got a lot of "so are you a Muslim now" comments, which is like, nothing wrong with being a Muslim, obviously. However, those questions were not framed with good intent. And I got a lot of comments, and it was not great. But those closest to me, apart from that ex, were really supportive and complimented me on headscarves. And when I figured out how to like tie them properly, they were like, "Yeah, you look good today." And it was really cool, and they would have my back when comments were said, so it was great. Most people were good. My family were also suspiciously good. They were not bothered. I was apprehensive and thought that they might be, but they were just like, whatever. I'm like, okay, good, correct. How did you start veiling? Honestly, can't really remember. I was in my second year of uni and I was going through some stuff with that ex. She was not great to me. It was not a great time. And I was just really struggling with my mental health, and I was like feeling the call more and more, and then one day I was like, sod it, I'm just gonna do it, because there's a headscarf, people do it all the time, so I'm just gonna put it on. And I felt good, I felt different, it felt like right, and then I googled it, and I was like, holy crap, oh yes, Pagan's Veil, and here's some of the reasons why, this feels correct. And then later on, I kind of stopped a bit, so when me and that ex broke up, I was in a much better place, so I didn't really feel the need to veil so much. I felt better, so I kind of took it off and I was like, yes, this doesn't feel as daunting to be outside in the world anymore. So then I stopped for a bit, but then I would still put it on to practice, and then I researched the Kyluk because I had been feeling like an affinity towards her. And I bought some books, and then I was reading in the books that she often asks her like patron people, like the people that follow her, to veil because she is the veiled one. And it was very much a oh moment, and that's kind of how everything got put together, and that is how my veiling practice evolved to be what it is. How much experience in paganism do you need before you can start veiling? You can veil from day one, because veiling is not exclusive to paganism. It does not require any prior experience. All it requires is you wanting to put a veil on. Maybe understanding why, but you also don't have to do that, because I didn't at the start. I just felt the call and did it. If you're going to make it a pagan thing, it is worth knowing the reasons why. But, like, again, you don't have to, because gatekeeping does not belong in our community. So, if you want to veil, veil away. Yeah, no prior experience needed. You're fine, you're good. Stick it on. It's great. Because you don't have to stick it on and commit to it. You can try it out and see if it works. You can do it casually, you can do it more formally, you can do it 24/7 if you want to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, because your practice is yours and there is no right or wrong way to do it, especially with veiling. Why don't you veil in videos more? Well, me specifically, why don't I veil in videos more? Because I have associated veiling with magical like work, with my active like druid practice and goddess worship and all of this. Anytime I'm working with a goddess, this goes on. It doesn't go on in every ritual. It doesn't go on for every piece of practice. It kind of is intuition based, where like I feel the need or I don't. And if I feel the need, I do it. If I don't feel the need, I still might do it anyway. But with my videos about druidry and paganism and veiling, obviously I put it on for veiling videos. Number one, for the thumbnail. Number two, because it is appropriate and it does feel correct. But because I've associated it with active practice, nothing that goes on camera is active practice, because it doesn't feel right for me to do a completely fully serious ritual and then put that on the internet. It doesn't feel authentic, it loses some of the magic, and it just doesn't feel right. So everything I've been showing is a demo, so it never feels relevant or right to don a veil for a video. Some of them obviously do, because this is a veiling video, and then my Yule walk, which I already linked to, that felt right to do, so I did it. But I don't think I need to put a veil on in every video or more videos or every druid video just because I veil outside of videos, if that makes sense. Like, yes, representation is good, but I don't want to force it, and I want to give a representation of my experience veiling and not just veiling as a whole. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below, and like this video while you're there. Subscribe to my channel. This is not the end of the video, I'm just sneaking that in there. This is the last question. Max, you're a scientist. Have you veiled in a lab? Yes. Yes, I have. I've talked about being a pagan and a scientist up here in this video, and I also gave that as a talk in a live event. It was great. Yep, I veiled in the lab because I was veiling because I kind of felt vulnerable, as well as magical reasons, so it just stayed on. It made sense. And yes, that is allowed, because there are rules and regulations about headscarves, specifically religious headscarves, in labs. There are health and safety measures to make sure that you can do it safely, so you wouldn't really be allowed to wear it just like this, because this is gonna fall in things, so you would have to have it tucked into your lab coat. It has to be like relatively snug fitting. You still have to wear your specs. You can put it under the scarf, or a lot of people put it over the scarf. It depends if you normally wear glasses and how it fits, but you still have to wear all of the PPE, and you just tuck everything in and everything's tight and nothing is loose and flowing. Just follow health and safety. So on that cheery note, don't forget to like this video. Drop a comment down below if you have any further questions, or if you have any comments on anything I have said. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Videos go up every Saturday at 6 PM UK time, with at least one bonus video every single month. See ya!